Welcome to Cut Daisies and Unicorns, and today's a trailer Black Friday. Black Friday, y'all. Black Trailer Friday. I guess.
Does that happen once
Friday?
Once in a blue moon?
Black?
I don't know. Yeah. Friday up?
Yeah. So, how many out there have now, this would be Friday evening that you're seeing this? Maybe some of you have been up since for a lot longer than 12 hours already. Woof. And you're ready to say, you know what, it's time for bed. Yeah, so the day after Thanksgiving, and we're going to talk about Thanksgiving on the episode on Sunday. We're going to spend some time. We're going to introduce a term that I guess has been floating around for a little while called Thankstaking. And so that'll be a process for you to be able to listen to and kind of maybe learn, maybe grow. Who knows what can happen on this episode.
Well, it's sunshiny out, at least for right now. And
looks like a sunny 52.
Yes.
Or 53.
And so I was actually just checking to see what the weather is going to be like for their Black Friday shopping, because there's been some years it's been very cold.
Right.
I didn't shop on that day. There's been days when it's been very warm. I didn't shop on that day either. For the record, which coming up, this is a spoiler alert. You're going to hear Phil doesn't go Black Friday shopping on Black Friday either.
No.
Yeah.
I've never been. I know my sister, she does this every year. She gets up at way too early. Maybe she just doesn't even go to bed. I don't know. And then they're up like 3 or 4 in the morning, like at different places. And I remember, through the years, she'd be reaching out and saying, hey, so I'm going to get your kids something from whatever store, this store. Like, okay. Do it. I don't know.
Okay.
So, I don't know what... because I do. I like to save money as well. So I'm in that headspace as well, but I guess I just didn't care about it enough to be able to say, you know what, I should lose sleep for a day, just to be able to save. And I'm like, I'll be okay.
Huh.
So far, I've been okay.
So far. So far, so good.
Yeah, so that's been the story thus far in the life of Phil, is that thus far everything's gone okay. What's your best deal that you've gotten on a Black Friday, Steve?
I've never shopped on a Black Friday.
Oh, so you haven't either.
That's my point. Yeah, whether it's sunshiny or cold, or whether it's warm or it's dreary out. No, I have nothing.
Okay.
Nope.
Nope, nothing.
Nope. Hashtag didn't do that, won't do that.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious that when people have been buying things within the last couple weeks, then when Black Friday deals, if you email the manufacturer or the place where you bought it and there's a better deal, like within 30 days or whatever, they'll refund you the money of what the sale was going to be.
Oh. Well, look at that.
Hashtag experience like that you don't want to have.
Uh-huh. That's true.
Yeah. But you know what I was thinking about?
Yeah.
I just want to bring for the Friday trailer chipperness.
A chipper Steve. Chipper Steve.
We could have a bitch session going on here too. Phil could become my complaint department, and this day has been full of itself. And so I'm calling this Weepy Wednesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
But no, Chipper.
Chipper. He's a chip off the old block.
He is.
Yep. So if you want to hear Steve do a turkey call,
Yeah.
you have to listen on Sunday.
Yeah. And then, today, Friday, Trailer Friday, Black Friday, I believe, is also the United States versus England World Cup match.
FIFA.
Yes. So the World Cup has been kicked off, and
Literally.
and some reason
Goal.
the United States were up 1-0 for 82 minutes of the first match, and they had a penalty that created a opportunity for Wales to score, and we ended up tying the whole thing, which isn't good in the point category.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to shoot for a tie.
Right.
So, like, you're going for points. You get a point to win. You
Yeah.
don't get a point to tie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But we don't expect the U.S. to do well this year, do we?
well, I mean, we pretty much assume that the United States men's team doesn't go usually very far.
Hey, but along the lines for good news,
Yeah.
I believe the United States men's soccer team has agreed to pool their salary resources from tournaments like this,
Yeah.
and it's being doled out and shared with the women's soccer team to be able to raise their incomes because they're so much better than the U.S. men anyway.
Right. They've been more successful.
They've been more successful, but their the salaries that they get, they came to that conclusion like this last summer or something like that. And so there's some way that the U.S. soccer teams, soccer clubs, soccer unions, I don't know anything about this sports ball game.
Sports ball.
But
Except that most people call it football, except the United States.
football. Yeah. Yeah.
You know that.
I do know that, and I know it's not rugby.
Right.
And I do know that people who play rugby are a bit off in their head. And yeah,
That's true. That's true.
But I have seen plenty of one of my favorite little restaurants in Clive, Iowa. The bartender there was a big football,
And football, soccer.
and I mean soccer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Chivas.
Uh-huh.
Yep. And so, and I can really appreciate about what those soccer players do with their balls.
It's so we're just going to leave that right there, right out there. You guys can feel free to kick it along if you'd want.
That was horrible.
It's like Steve, he's setting it up, right? This is what you do in the soccer/football realm.
Yeah.
You set people up.
Yeah.
You just set somebody up to make a ball joke.
Well, and I think it's just appropriate with you as a soccer coach this year that why would I even wonder whether you are watching the World Cup? Does the World Cup happen every year?
No.
See, that's the point that a lot of people should really look at. Is it
Oh, yeah.
once every 4 years?
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, I think it's 4 years. Yeah.
And it's on a non-electoral year? Or maybe it's on...
I think it was delayed certain times. I mean, pandemic, I think. I don't know. So, yeah, things kind of got pushed off because they do like friendly matches throughout. And then they do kind of like a championship series where you're trying to figure out, because not every nation gets to be represented during the World Cup. Some of them have already been eliminated even before the World Cup starts.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
yeah, to me, you're like, I think it's fascinating because you also, there are players on the United States, the men's national team, that do play in the Premier League, which is like that's the elite players. The elite teams are usually playing European Premier League.
Wow.
And so you get all, like, we have some Premier League players. We have some MLS, which is the kind of the American, we've got an American soccer league as well. Major League Soccer, I think is, MLS. So then you get the Chicago Fire, which is our local team.
This girl is on fire, Chicago Fire.
All right. So they play at Soldier Field. So they just signed that deal. I think this was their first full season playing at Soldier Field.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty fascinating.
Hey, so along the lines of Soldier Field,
Yeah.
so when that all goes to Arlington Heights,
Yeah.
what's going to happen with Soldier Field?
Well, the mayor has still committed to continuing to work on Soldier Field to be able to make it a premier location, because it is owned by Chicago. It's, a Chicago Park District. It's not owned by a corporation. It's not owned by, it's actually owned by the city.
Wow.
And that's where the Bears have been asking, hey, we get that you just, they've done some structural, especially on the outside of Soldier Field. They did some structural stuff before. They're like, but this needs to be updated. And so they asked for it, and the city's kind of like, oh, yeah, let's think about it. We'll think about it later on. And then it was like when the Bears said, hey, we're going to buy this place in Arlington Heights. Then the city was like, let's come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And then they put together this, I don't know, it was a couple of $1 billion renovation to turn it into a domed, almost dome, I think like a convertible, a whole retractable roof kind of thing, and make it all special. But I'm like, I don't think that the city's going to do that if the Bears aren't in it anymore. Like, I can't imagine that you would spend, some billions of dollars,
right,
in order to be able to turn it into a venue that you're not going to use it for, the American football. I can't imagine it, because they're also talking about a multi-billion-dollar facility in Arlington Heights.
Well, yeah, but that's actually the Bears are footing that bill, right?
Yeah, because they purchased it. So.
Yeah, so that's the difference is the difference between the city putting in the money and the Bears putting in the money.
Right.
The Bears want to own it,
right?
And they're going to do a major upgrade in their whole life system, because they want the development, and we know this is,
they want the naming right people to give money, they want everything to then funnel into their financial structure.
So can we talk about the Chicago Mafia?
Sure, let's bring them in. Wait, they say the Mafia is not real. You ever see those? Like, the people are like, yeah, like, are you in the Mafia? The Mafia is not real. Like, is it not real? There's been a lot of then shady things that have occurred that are not associated with the Mafia. So whether it still exists,
the Chicago outfit, also known as the Outfit, the Chicago Mafia, the Chicago Mob, the Chicago Crime Family, the South Side Gang, or the Organization, is an Italian-American organized crime syndicate or crime family based in Chicago, Illinois, that originated in the city's South Side, in the early 1910s. So is the Mafia still active? Despite a diminished crime syndicate in Chicago, the organization's bones are in place 7.5 decades after Capone's reign officially ended. However, 2022 has not been a business as usual for the crime organization, according to the mob expert and the Chicago Outfit author John Bender. Whoa.
Okay.
So the Chicago Mafia only consists of one family, where in New York there's five
families.
5 families. You know this?
I do. I studied the Mafia in college.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which Tulsa
Tulsa
King?
King?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. But
Oh, dude. Definitely, I think Taylor Sheridan is having fun with this.
Yeah.
With Stallone there.
Right.
It's comical. Like, there's some really funny parts about it. Like, just a lot different than how he's approached the Westerns and stuff. So, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that he is having fun with his the Sheridan creations, the shows that he's trying to be able to put out there. Yeah. Yeah. So we've got Thanksgiving. Hopefully, everybody enjoyed the trailer Friday last week with a whole bunch of clips. And if you're like, oh, you were expecting a trailer Friday with clips today, you're like, well, too bad.
Sorry to disappoint.
Too bad for you.
Yeah.
So, but you'll get over it. Don't worry. Time will pass, and you will barely remember the clip show of Trailer Friday. Yeah.
Yep. So right now we're just getting ready to get all tidied in and tucked in. We're coming at you on Wednesday, so when you listen to this on Friday, you'll have already slept off all your tryptophan?
Tryptophan, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's in the turkeys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you said turkey, I had an impulse within me to gobble.
Yeah, they have to wait for that.
Yeah,
they have
totally
to wait.
gotta wait.
Right.
Totally gotta
Sunday,
wait.
you will hear it.
Yeah. And shout out to everyone getting together with your friends or your family, and just enjoying this holiday weekend of sorts. If you didn't have to work, I mean, it's funny because when I went to pick up my vehicle today at the C lot, you could tell that people are off work.
Yeah.
Because there aren't as many cars parked where the Metro is at the station.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. So people are taking time off.
Right. Yeah, schools, I mean, I know CPS, they finished pretty much Monday was their, even officially, like Friday was their last, but they had like a parent-teacher conferences on Monday. That, and then after that, it was like they've been off. So it's like, so you can tell the difference between like the movement in the city when CPS is off. Like there's not as much traffic. So yeah, I think it's fairly interesting the flow of the city when CPS is not there.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah.
I came blowing in here and there was construction at Cicero and Elston, but it's gone.
Yeah.
So I could make my left-hand turn, no problem at all.
Ah.
And, and then Elston to, I don't know. See, this is where, and we do talk about learning people's names in the service industry that you see often.
Yeah.
I have to do a better job of committing to memory because I know how to get here.
Yeah.
I've been doing it for a while now.
Right.
Do you know I'm rounding the corner on my third year?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It is crazy. I mean, we get 6 more months underneath us, so it's like 2.5 years is what it's been. But
yeah, you're like pretty much a Chicagoan now.
Almost. I think if I hit 5 years, then I'll consider. I really have. Being from Michigan originally, it took me at least as many years of living in Iowa. Like, once I passed the 18-year mark of having lived in Iowa, then I'm like, all right, so I have a state of origin. That's Michigan. But now, truly, I mean, I've been in Des Moines for how long? And in Iowa for 85 to 2019.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time.
It is a long
I
time.
would have to consider. But there's something about Illinois. What is it about? Like, I would really feel better if Chicago seceded.
From Illinois.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, in the rest of Illinois, well, especially the downstate Illinois, they would love to see it, but then I would say they're not going to love to see it. Like, they would not love it if it actually happened.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it could be a like some possibility, and I wouldn't say within the next while, but like it could be a possibility. I mean, we hear more and more people talking about it.
Yeah, the state of Chicago.
Yeah.
Which is like a mental state, by the way.
It is. Right.
Hey, so we were talking a little bit about current culture, and I have to come back out and say that one of the best short series was English. That was really good, and especially about our conversation about the indigenous people of the Americas.
Right.
And when I speak of that, I'm talking about North America and South America. I'm talking from Canada all the way down to the tip of South America.
Right.
That was a heartwarming love story of sorts, and I would use that term very loosely about that series. But then Power of the Dog. Have you seen Power of the Dog?
Is this Benedict Cumberbatch?
Yes.
Yes, that's like a Western kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I did.
I put it off
Yeah.
and put it off and put it off. But when I was riding the rail from Chicago to Iowa,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. Very, very well shot, somewhat creepy, kind of odd, and very, So, I
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it was up for a lot of awards. I don't even remember how many it actually ended up winning, but like it was still popular. And I'm like, it's probably just weird enough.
It is.
To be in the realm of like that whole like, ooh, this is great, like they always throw some somewhat weird films in there.
Yeah, and I still owe Caitlin a watch on My Officer with
Yeah, My Policeman.
My policeman, My Officer.
Which still could be the same.
Yeah. So anyway.
Did you watch Don't Worry, Darling or whatever? Okay.
Yeah.
How did you like that?
I really thought that. So I really dug the mid-modern century setting. I dug the outfits and I dug the storyline.
Yeah.
As far as I can't say what I'm thinking because I don't want to have a spoiler. But I thought that the ending seemed. I don't know how many movies Olivia Wilde has directed. Okay.
I think that might have been her first one.
And so to that, I will say, just because you doesn't mean you should. But maybe there's room for her to grow as a director.
Yeah.
And I would guess, now, not from the point of shots taken and like stuff like that, but I think how the film was assembled in the storytelling and how it finished. Maybe it was supposed to finish. Well, obviously they put it out, so it was supposed to finish that way. But you'll have to get into it. There was a part of the way the story was told and what the story was about that I really appreciated from I won't tell you a genre because that will be giving part of it away as you get into the story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to go through and see films directed. So she directed 2. She's Booksmart and Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah.
She's got 2 that are There's two that are underneath it but it says 2011 and 2020, but it doesn't say it directed, writer, produced. I don't know. So it looks like two.
Yeah.
And she's only directed and produced on Don't Worry, Darling. So she both direction and producing. So I think that was her big, coming out, doing this direction production thing.
Yeah, that was
in there.
Interesting choice of words by you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, lots of things. I think Thanksgiving break holiday thing, there's a lot of room for consuming television, movies, sitting around together and doing such things.
Yeah. And interesting choice there, too, because we deal with consuming.
Right, we do.
And how, blessings and peace.
Blessings and peace.
Enjoy this time.
Yes, be grateful for it.
It's true.
All right, I think we're going to wrap up Trailer Friday for y'all. And we're going to wrap it in a nice little present, a little gift, and hand it off to you for you to enjoy.
Oh, my gosh. If you're watching this on video, you just have a beautiful, beautiful hand gesture motion from Phil.
Mm-hmm.
If you're listening to this on audio, you don't realize how cute that was.
Yeah. So now you'll just have to go back and watch if you're just listening.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Well, in the voice of Chipper Steve, hey, I hope you guys had a really, really good Trailer Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy, and we will catch up with you. Our plan next week, rounding out the season 10, just know that we have plenty of spam.
Episode 10.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
season 7, episode 10. But you can get a hold of us by emailing us at cutdaisiesandunicorns@gmail.com.
Yes.
We have lots of spy bots already sending us email.
We do.
It has not helped us all out at all.
No, not at all.
And then if you're a close-knit Cut Daisies and Unicorns listener and you have our phone number, you can always text us too.
For sure.
And if you're like, how do I get to be that person? The answer is that ship has already sailed. We are.
You're either in it or you're not.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah. So, it's just one of those things where you have to just recognize we are not giving out that information to complete strangers.
Absolutely.
And even the less than the incomplete strangers, like if you're a complete stranger. Well, what if I'm an incomplete stranger?
Right. It's not quite complete.
I'm not wholly a stranger. Like even an acquaintance. Hey, if you, there's actually ways to get our numbers. If people just did a little bit of work, they could figure it out. But we're not.
There's a way.
We're not here to enable any kind of action towards that. I've already got a lot of contacts in my phone that I don't use right now.
Yeah, and I would still say if you somehow come across our phone number and text us, that it's not always going to mean that we're going to text you back, because if we don't have you stored, there's a little chance, a little opportunity, but most likely it's still zero.
Yeah. You would have to preface that, hey, I was listening to the podcast, and then go into a topic for us to be able to, because just because somebody says that they're texting us.
Right.
I get weird texts all the time.
Me too.
Yeah.
And they usually go right on out.
Yep. I hit block, and then delete.
Yeah. Which I don't block enough. Like, usually I'm deleting, and now it starts to say, is this junk? And I'm like, yes, junk.
Well, and I just got the new OS update on my phone, and that's what it's asking me now, and I never had that before. Yeah. So apparently I left my phone plugged in at the right time with the right keystroke so that it would update.
Update?
Yeah. Well, I'm shutting down
All right.
the computer and my mouth. But I'm getting it ready to be the pie hole because I'm going to have some pumpkin pie.
Right. I do like pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I was telling Amy last night, you know what I love about Thanksgiving? The Thanksgiving seasonings.
Yeah.
So like nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger. You think a gingerbread man ish, you know?
Yeah.
And let's see, there's one more. Kind of like to dice up and mix it in with a little clove.
Oh, cloves, yeah. They
Yeah.
would be in that season, too.
Did you ever smoke cloves?
I did.
All indicting. Right here, you heard it.
Right. Yeah, now I just get sick, sometimes when I smell if somebody's smoking cloves, I'm like, oh, it like makes me sick.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. I was watching some movie the other day, and this lady, she hadn't had a cigarette for a while, and she went to the gas station and got a pack, and her first inhale, and she coughed it out, and I'm like, oh, like it made my chest hurt just thinking about it.
Right.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But then, 2 puffs later, and she was full drag and ready to go, and I'm like,
right back at it.
Man, anybody who's smoked cigarettes recognizes that.
Yep.
The yucky first taste of the first drag after you haven't for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and then before you even get through the whole first, you're like,
Right back in it.
Trigger alert. Hey, so if you're working through tobacco cessation, sorry about that.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been a while for me, so
I got a buddy of mine.
I can't go back either. Usually if it's one, then it's going to be 1 carton, 2 cartons.
Yeah. I actually, for my 50th birthday, I've told this story, but for my 50th birthday, somebody swung by. We had a couple beers and smoked a cigar, and he brought a cigar by for my birthday. That was the last form of tobacco that I smoked. That was over
that you inhaled.
Yeah, 5 years ago. I just don't run after that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, man.
Yeah. I've found that I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Because then I just become like consumed.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to do that anymore. Don't want to be consumed by it anymore.
Well, and when it controls your life,
Yeah.
like on that, yeah. I mean, it when it makes your schedule for you.
Right.
And so,
Yep. It's time to cut it out.
bam. So when are you going to stop meth?
Well, we're going to see, like once it becomes all infecting.
You still have all your teeth.
I do.
Oh my gosh. Well, good. Hey, and for the record, just don't start heroin.
No.
Yeah, that's a bad deal.
Yeah. I'd say don't start meth either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. The chemical compounds there, just not good for your body.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Yep. And when it comes to mental and emotional stability, the less of the outside accelerants that you can take in, the better.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you're looking for something to like get you hopped up, Red Bull has a really great tangerine something flavor out right now. Peach tangerine.
Yeah.
It was yummy.
And you're not allowed to say it gives you wings anymore. So
Really? Why?
yeah. Apparently somebody they got sued or something for the Red Bull gives you wings. 'Cause you're like, I never got any wings. So
Now I want to get some wings.
I know.
Smoked or barbecued?
Yes. Both.
All right. Well,
This was an extended Trailer Friday for everybody.
Merry Thanksgiving.
And may you have some light on this Black Friday.
beep, beep, beep. Peace out, everybody.